All right, y'all. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We in the building and we are about to get it in. We are honored and happy to have a very special guest leading off the top of the show. Virginia Commonwealth University, VCU for you, Capital City RVA, people to hear. The newest member of the basketball team and their family is going to join us on the air at the top of the show. So be here for that. Later on, we got the host of the Green Room version 2.0 with Jay Grizzy going to join us and have a discussion about the comments from Charles Barkley, Herman Cain, and the teammates of Russell Wilson. We got a founding member of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J in the building with me right now. And we got the dating pool diva going to join us later on the show. And we finishing up last week's segment on horror movies. We got a lot to do tonight, and we're going to have a whole lot of fun. And we're glad to have you here with us. Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J is right now.
Open your ears, strap on your thinking cap. Socially conscious talk that's entertaining with a dash of humor and the top sports stories of the week. It's time for Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J.
Sellers has Jordan. Jordan with 2 seconds to go. Puts it up. It's good at the buzzer. Michael Jordan has won it for Chicago. Manning lobs it. Burris alone. Touchdown, New York.
Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. Down goes Frazier. He hits one deep to right center. That ball is out of here. The Yankees win the pennant.
If they lying, then they must be half stepping. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J is live. We back in the building for a live show. So be down with us at 804-402-2893 to be part of the flagship show right here on Legacy Internet Radio. Thank y'all, everybody, for being part of the show tonight. We know that you're listening to us on Legacy Internet Radio. We know that you're listening to us on TuneIn, on your mobile devices, on your tablets, on your cell phones. We know you got us up on the computer. TuneIn app is where you can listen to us wherever you are, whether you're home, in the car, or on the go. We appreciate those folks. Thank you to everybody that's listening to the replays right now on YouTube. We appreciate the love that we get. We're the flagship show of Legacy Internet Radio, broadcast live every Monday night at 7 p.m. live from the den, once again, of Legacy Internet Radio. As we do every single week, we always go around the room and we check in with everybody that's here with us so we can kind of set it up. And as she joins us on the fourth Monday of every single month to help lead us through our relationship segment we like to call the Diva Diaries, we got our sister, ours and yours, dating pool diva Arthur Charisma's here with us. What up, girl?
Hey, how you doing?
Doing fabulous. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there.
Hanging in there. Well, it's good to see you. Haven't seen you in a little while. You doing all right?
Yeah, I'm good.
You gonna have a good show tonight?
I'm gonna have a great show tonight.
Are we gonna fuss at each other?
Yes.
Okay, good. That's the right answer. And once you come in here, not gonna keep it. Don't be half stepping because we fuss. So that's.
But
what we
the
do.
segment is called "Ask the Diva," so remember that.
I'm gonna keep that in mind. I'll make sure that I humble myself and remember, that it's your segment, and so I'm gonna step back because I didn't do that good of a job of it last time. So this time I'm gonna make sure I mind my manners. I'm a mind my manners.
Okay. I'll take your shoe again.
My sister. And of course, as I led off the show, I mentioned that I have a founding member of Ain't No Half Steppin' with Marcus J. First show we ever did, we did it at his kitchen. I got my brother, my partner, and my friend in the room. We like to call him Big Roo.
Yo.
I said Big Roo.
Yo.
What's up, man?
Not much, man. Just chilling.
It's good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well, sir, as well.
Yeah, well, we going to have a good show tonight. Are we going to argue or fuss or anything?
Come on, man. If we didn't do any of that, it'd be a horrible show.
See, I asked the dating pool diva, and she came right out with it and said yes. And then I asked you, and you came right out with it and said yes. The constant between those two is me. I guess that means that I am the one that causes the conflict. Is that, in fact, a fact?
That is a fact.
So it's me?
Yes.
You punks. I don't care. Ain't no half step with Marcus J. Of course, I teased it in the beginning of the intro. And so I'm going to go ahead and bring our very, 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 very special guest on the live line to join us now. Her son Morgan has signed a letter of intent to be part of the Virginia Commonwealth University basketball team. And letter of intent meaning he is a full-fledged member of the VCU basketball team, and we're looking forward to having this conversation. We're very, very happy and proud to have our sister, Miss Shelly Vega, on the live line with us right now. Shelly, you there with us, sister?
Yes, I am. Go Rams.
How you go Rams? How you doing, girl?
Doing happy.
Definitely glad to have you.
Magical time.
Well, we're definitely glad to have you with us here on the live line. A whole lot to get to, and I'm not even, I'm so excited about this interview that I'm not even sure where to begin. So I'm gonna just start at the beginning and have you first tell us about Morgan. How's he doing?
Morgan is doing wonderful. Morgan is on a true high. This has been a wonderful weekend for him. I think we've heard epic about 10 times per hour.
We here in the Richmond, Virginia
Morgan
area.
is doing great.
Here in the Richmond, Virginia area, obviously we're the capital city of Virginia, and Virginia Commonwealth is the largest university here in the Richmond, Virginia area. And I let it off by saying Morgan signed a letter of intent to be part of the Virginia Commonwealth VCU Rams basketball team. Why don't you tell us what I mean by that? I know what I mean, but why don't you tell our listeners what I mean when I say that?
Is involved in an organization called Team Impact. It's based out of Boston, and they pair children or terminal illness teams. And we were lucky enough to get the magic that is the VCU Rams and Coach Shaka Smart to sign on to welcome Morgan to the Rams. This experience has been billed as Make-A-Wish meets the Big Brother program. A commitment of more than a year. This is a 2 to 3 year commitment, and we'll be a part of this ball club for that amount of time. Get to know the players, experience inspiration through team efforts.
Typically, when you hear Make-A-Wish, you think of people and children with special needs. So we know that Morgan has special needs. Why don't you tell us about his special needs and how that went into the connection with Virginia Commonwealth?
Yes, as cerebral palsy. They're cerebral palsy, but overall it's a non-progressive muscle disorder. It affects motion. Either too much tone in your spastic or not enough tone in your ataxic.
Okay.
Morgan has spastic CP in defense, and he doesn't walk. But cognitively, he can think and function just like the rest of us.
Okay.
It's just his body that tries to hold him back.
Okay. Now we're having a little bit of trouble with your signal is in and out. If you can maybe get to a place wherever you are that's a little bit more stable.
Is this a little bit better?
That's better. We can hear you. It's just in and out. But if you think you're at a better spot, I think
okay.
then I trust you. And so
I think we are.
Okay, good. So he has cerebral palsy, or he has cerebral palsy.
Yes, and in addition to that, he also has epilepsy, and as a part of that has shunts, which are drains that pull off excess spinal and brain fluid to keep things kind of normal up there.
Okay. Now, as far as the special needs and the Virginia Commonwealth University and the program that's based out of Boston, three things. How did those three things come together and end up with you guys being a part of the VCU basketball team? You guys are Rams now. How did that happen?
Morgan was in the hospital this past winter, had a very serious shunt malfunction that resulted in some further brain injury. And a social worker brought me this information about Team Impact. It requires that the family really pursue the relationship with the team. And in the 3 years she's been aware of it, we were the first family that she had come into contact with that she felt had what it took to make this match work. Filled out an application, sent it off to Boston, and they said, we don't know what team will do the best we can. What's Morgan's dream? And I said, of course, basketball, and he would love VCU. We didn't, and they said instantly, we don't know if that'll happen. That's a Division I school. They're busy. But got that school.
Well, it's crazy because we live here in the Richmond, Virginia area, and for him to be a part of a team that is in the market where he lives is definitely a plus, I would think.
Oh, very much so. Some people are driving 2 and 3 hours to the school that may have a 10-minute. It's just been a blessing. Everything came together magically. We got his official invite to be drafted. So we've been waiting for draft day since July 9th.
Okay. Tell us about that draft. How does that draft work? Because I'm sitting here thinking about it. I ain't never been drafted. There's certain drafts black men don't want to be a part of, but I'm thinking this is one that you're happy about. Tell us about the draft and how that worked.
The draft process was
now you're breaking up.
School here.
You're breaking up pretty good again. Can we move?
Wow, I can't. Verizon is letting me down.
I know how they do. Trust me, I know how they do.
Shout out Verizon. As I was saying, Team Impact to all the local school would buy ECU bid first, and once they determined that they were willing to commit, they called Morgan on his birthday and said, on behalf of Coach Shaka Smart, we'd like to invite you to play with the VCU Rams. Are you interested?
Wow.
That was a resounding.
You think. Now,
yeah.
So he got the call directly from the head coach of the basketball program at Virginia Commonwealth VCU Rams. Shaka Smart called him personally.
Well, actually, the initial draft call came from a lady named Kelsey Burke. We thank her for everything that she's done from Team Impact. And he agreed. All of our communications have been coming directly from what happens next.
Okay. Now, I think a lot of us here in the RV.
Smart went above and beyond.
Now you're breaking up bad again. Is there another number that we can maybe get you on, because this one's breaking up pretty good?
Let's try.
I got the other one. I got the other one that you gave me. You want me to try that? Huh?
Yeah.
The other one that you gave me.
Yeah, call that other one.
Okay, I'm going to hang up and I'm going to dial that other number right now. Okay.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. Good. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We're going to go ahead. We're efforting getting Shelly back on the line because we got some good information here, and I'm very, very excited to hear about young Morgan and him being part of the Virginia Commonwealth basketball team. And, you know, to think, Big Rube, about Coach Shaka Smart calling him up, or his assistant calling him up, and him getting that phone call on his birthday, I think is definitely something that is very, very pleasant. And I think if it was me, knowing I'm a basketball fan, and I get a phone call from the head coach of the basketball team that I want to be a part of, and they call me up directly, I think that's something that's more than exciting and thrilling. What's your thoughts on that?
Oh yeah, that's hot. Definitely. You know, big ups to VCU and Shaka Smart. You know, for doing. You know, everybody wants to give them credit for doing the right thing, but it's doing the great thing.
Doing the great thing. Shelly, I think we got you back on the line. Shelly, you there?
me back.
Okay, good. We got you back. I think we got you on a more stable line. Thank you so much for hanging in there with us and being patient. So we were talking about the assistant of Shaka Smart was the one that gave you guys a call. I think you were giving her some kudos for being kind of your head contact there at Virginia Commonwealth. What I want to know really is I want to talk about Morgan and how he's feeling. He got that phone call on his birthday. When's his birthday, by the way?
July.
Okay.
July the 9th.
July the 9th. Okay. I got a good friend of mine who may be listening tonight in Queens, New York. And if he's listening, shout out to him. They share the same birthday. But Morgan's a lot more cool than he is. Trust me, he really is. He gets that phone call on his birthday. Tell us about the last 2.5 months since then and the anticipation of waiting for this thing to actually go down.
Oh, he's been remarkably patient. For a 17-year-old, he didn't complain. He didn't fuss. His attitude has been, I've had to wait anyway. This is going to be great when it happens. But, you know, every call that we get, is it draft day? Is it draft day? And when we finally got the call that it was time for his draft day, man, you're talking about a kid over the moon. He was beyond thrilled. But he's been great with being patient, waiting for it. And he actually remarked yesterday, this was very much worth the wait.
We saw the pictures. I think a lot of us saw you guys on the local news here in the Richmond, Virginia area and the newspapers. And one thing that struck me, and, you know, in just full disclosure, I know you, you know me. I've met Morgan on several occasions. But to see him, I don't think I've ever seen him that animated and that happy. And just the smile that you can see on his face in those photographs, for me, and I can't speak for my crew here, I can't speak for anybody who saw the story, I can say for me, the joy that I saw just made me feel pretty darn good. What's your thoughts on that?
It's so much more than just joy, Marcus. It's he takes it very seriously. He's proud.
Right.
This for him is not just for him at this, like, this is an opportunity, and he takes it seriously that he can inspire the guys as well as they can inspire him. Draft day, he was really nervous being the center of attention, but once that letter was signed, pure elation. He's a Ram through and through, and he is.
Does he get an opportunity?
I mean, just over the top. I can't.
Will he get an opportunity to hang out with the team throughout the season? Like, what kind of interaction is he going to have with Coach Smart and the rest of the team throughout the season? I know you guys were at the game. You guys were at the game yesterday.
Oh, yeah. Black and gold game was amazing. We'll go to a few practices here and there. We will be attending every home game. The relationship that he has with the guys will grow and flourish like any new friendship. They'll get to know each other, and I'm sure he'll bond more with some than others. One very unique thing about our match is typically a team assigns 4 players to the child that's matched, to the team. In this case, every player on the squad stood up and said they wanted to be a part of this. They couldn't limit it to 4.
Right.
I think that speaks volumes for the caliber of men that we're dealing with to add something else to their already full plates. They're all very committed, and they're all very touched by his presence. I saw last night that they are just as inspired by him as he is by them.
I could tell you that I could tell you that seeing the program and seeing the joy on his face in the photograph, and of course knowing you and seeing, you know, the joy in your face, being a parent and knowing what it must feel like to have a child that's very, very happy and very, very proud. I can just only imagine, you know, the joy that you guys have felt, you know, over the last 2.5 months, knowing that knowing that this was going to happen last week, and then of course being a part of the game yesterday and going forward. Any final thoughts that you want to share with our listeners here on Legacy Internet Radio about yourself, how you feel as a mom, how you think Morgan would feel if he was able to come and talk to us here tonight, as well as his connection with the team? Any final thoughts?
One thing that Morgan knows about this interview, he said, "Hi, Marcus."
Tell him I
he
said,
wanted
"What's
me
up,
to
man?"
be sure to share his personal mantra with your listening audience.
Okay.
Morgan has a personal definition of determination, and his is "Tell me I can't, and I will." One question I keep getting is, how does CP affect Morgan? And I like to tell people that it may slow him down, but it never stops him. Morgan is really big on pushing through. Adversity is fuel for him. He doesn't view it as obstacles. He sees adversity as something to overcome, and he looks forward to being able to say, "I did that. I made it through that."
Right.
And he shared that with the guys. Tell me I can't, and I will. And yesterday, one thing that wasn't, we've had all this wonderful media coverage, but the guys yesterday, when they were introduced, they also introduced Morgan as a part of the squad. And to let them know how proud he was of them and his association with them, Morgan stood up yesterday at the game,
Wow.
which is a very rare thing because Morgan doesn't walk.
Right.
But he stood and he bore his own weight with minimal help from me, just to show that I'm here with you guys. You inspire me, and I want to inspire you back.
Right.
This is a wonderful thing. I think it's great for everybody that's going to be seeing it, be touched by it. It's just a wonderful experience, and I'm glad that people are paying attention and seeing it. Inspiration can come from anywhere, and in this case, it's a 17-year-old boy.
Who happens to be yours.
I mean, I'm a little bit biased, but yeah.
No,
he's
I got
doing it.
no. When
he keeps me going.
When I say that, I say that with the pride that I feel as a parent, and the pride that I know that you feel as a parent as well. And I'll be honest with you, when you mentioned, to me before this was coming, and then when I saw that it had happened, I was just so happy. And, the photograph that was taken of you and Morgan and Coach, just the joy that I could see in everybody's faces, it just comes over you, and it takes you over, and there's just no way. If you got a heart and a soul, there's no way that you don't feel that, and the inspiration that I felt to know that you can do anything that you want to do. All you got to do is do it. I'm very happy to know you. I'm happy to know your son. I'm happy to be able to speak to you, and I'm happy to have you share the story with our listeners here on Legacy Internet Radio. And I'm just proud of it, man. And I'm just, I don't want to get too mushy here. My listeners, they know me kind of as a hard guy, so I don't want to step too much out of character here. But I hope that everybody can hear the inspiration in my voice that I'm getting solely on the shoulders of our young brother, young Morgan Vega. So thank you, Shelly, for being with us. Thank you for being part of the show.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. And, you guys are family here at Legacy Internet Radio. So I would like to ask, a favor, if you would be happy. I'm putting you on the spot. I didn't tell you I was going to ask you this favor, but I'm going to ask you this favor on the air. Can I ask you a favor?
Of course you can, Marcus.
All right. Keep us abreast of what goes on with Morgan with regards to his connection to VCU and any of the strives and the positive things that happen with him going forward. We want to know so that we can highlight him, so that we can continue to look to him for inspiration for all of our listeners to know that anybody can do anything. All they got to do is want to do it, and go ahead and do it with the support of their family and their friends and the community. And I want to thank him for that. And I want to know every time he has a milestone, I want you to call us and let us know. Can you come and say, yeah, I could do that for us?
I can definitely do that.
My sister Shelly Vega and her son Morgan Vega, we appreciate it. Thank you, sis, so much. Thank you so much for being part of the show. And you have a great night, okay?
Thanks, Marcus.
Have a good one. Ain't no half stepping with Marcus J. We appreciate that sister being part of the show. We appreciate her sharing her story about her son and that story about Virginia Commonwealth University. We're going to take our first break of the night. And when we come back, we got our brother on the live line, the Green Room, version 2.0, Jay Grizzy Green. He's going to join us, and he's going to talk to us about some comments made by Charles Barkley, Basketball Hall of Famer, Herman Cain, former Republican nominee, well, not nominee, but candidate for the President of the United States. And he's going to talk to us about the Seattle Supersonics, they don't exist no more, Seattle Seahawks, the football team, talking about their quarterback ain't black enough. Jay Grizzy going to join us. I got Big Rube, and I got the Dating Pool Diva. We're going to talk about it. Ain't no have Steppin, Marcus. Jay be back in a few minutes.